Hello guys, welcome to another video for 31 Days of Tarot 2019 hosted by Ethany. Today I'm going to record my answer for day 16, 17 and 18 of the challenge. I'm recording them together because my answer for each of these prompt will be quite short, so I think there's no point on making separate video for each prompt. So I'm going to start with day 16 prompt, which is what tarot card in the deck do you look out for the most when you get a new deck? If you don't like that card, does it ruin the deck for you? Okay, I think for this question, I don't really have certain cards in a deck, in a tarot deck, that I use as reference point on whether I should buy a deck or not. So when I research for a deck that I am going to buy, I normally look at the I will research as many pictures of the cards in the deck as possible to see whether I can connect the card as whether I can connect to the deck as a whole, and whether the overall energy and overall art style of the deck is suitable with is compatible with my energy. And also I would also look at whether the representation of each card are something that I can easily relate to and easily interpret when I am doing a reading. So those are my consideration when I buy a deck, and I look at the art style as a whole, so not separately. However, there are times when I postpone on buying a deck because there are several cards in the major arcana that I think are not that I think are not pictured, that are not representing the essence of the cards very well. So yeah, so I think major arcana cards representation are quite important to me, and if there is one or two cards that feel off, maybe that will not ruin my enjoyment of the deck as a whole, if the deck really vibes with me in general. But if there are several major arcana cards, especially important ones, that that are not pictured quite well in the deck, in my opinion, then I probably will reconsider buying the deck. However, art is quite subjective, so what works for me or what doesn't work for me may not work for everyone. So for example here, for the Golden Tarot, this deck has been in my wish list excuse me, it has been in my wish list for quite some time, but there are a couple of cards in the deck that I feel do not have the energy that they supposed to have, like this Emperor card. I think this Emperor card is quite tame, for lack of better word. So yeah, I mean, he could pass as a King of Wands instead of an Emperor. I mean, everything in this card looks beautiful except that the Emperor is in profile and the expression does not have the authority and power that you normally see in an Emperor card. So that's just one of the examples. And another one is the Queen of Cups. I think normally Queen of Cups is depicted as someone who is gentle, who is motherly, who is nurturing, who is very understanding and very in tune with her emotion and with the feelings of the people around her. And this card to me does not represent that. She in fact looks more like a Queen of Swords because of the stern expression and determination. So yeah, that's just some of the examples in which Sometimes I found some court cards or major arcana a bit meh, and that kind of give me a reason to reconsider buying the deck. However, for this golden tarot, I feel a strange connection to it, so despite its shortcomings, I may end up buying it after all. And yeah, so that's my answer for day 16. So no particular card that I look out for when buying a deck, but I look at the energy in general, and also I would look at how the major arcana is mostly represented. So day 17, we now move to day 17. The prompt is, what is your favorite way to tarot journal? Okay, so I don't keep a bullet journal or for tarot or a tarot planner or something systematic like that. Normally I would just record my tarot musing, my tarot reading in my diary, in my personal journal. So here it is that I'm using at the moment. So as you can see, I prefer notebooks with blank no line paper, and I record everything here, not just tarot readings. Sometimes I record my Bible study. I'm a Christian, and sometimes I record about my dreams, about my frustration, and sometimes I record my personal tarot spread, tarot reading, client reading. So yeah, I keep everything in my journal, so no specific journal for tarot. And day 18, what cards relate to you personally, not just your astrology association or court cards? Okay, so I normally in general there is no single tarot card that I connect very strongly, because to me the 78 tarot cards represent different aspects of my life. However, if I am to pick tarot cards that I relate with more than others, I will have to pick these four of cups, Eight of Cups, Five of Swords, and Seven of Swords. Okay, so we start with Four of Cups. So to me, this represent, I can relate to this card very strongly at this time in my life, because I am undergoing some kind of mid-age crisis, in which I feel like the things that are in my life that used to be so fulfilling have lost their meaning. So currently I am dealing with loss of motivation in life, and also my depression, because I feel like I have lost a goal or a purpose or meaning in life. Like my everyday existence no longer has significant or excitement for me. So I am in a very Four of Cups stage now. Now my the depiction of a Four of Cups that I personally love very much is from the Triple Goddess Tarot. I have this deck at my parents' house. It's this one. I mean, this is I feel like I am looking at myself when I look at this card. So right now I feel quite imprisoned in my life. I feel like I am quite blessed in life. I mean, I have everything. I have food on the table. I have roof over my head. I have a family. I have things, more things than most people, but still I feel imprisoned. I feel like there is more out there, but I mean, I don't know how to look for it, and I'm afraid if I leave the house to look for it, to look for more things out there that I can achieve, I cannot find my way home again. So yeah, this card feels quite personal to me. I mean, this version of the Four of Cups. Another card is the Eight of Cups. I think this card, from the influence of the Angel's Tarot, does not quite capture the longing in the Eight of Cups. I prefer the depiction by the RWS base deck, which is this one from Mystical Manga. So this guy here, he is obviously longing for something, because everything in his life does not work for him anymore. He is longing for something that will fulfill him emotionally and spiritually, and he sets off looking for it. And this woman here represents his longing, an abstract form of his longing, something beautiful, something almost ethereal, spiritual, but we don't know what is that. So this is also me at the moment, looking for a deeper meaning of life, looking for something that can satisfy me spiritually and emotionally. Okay, the next card that I feel I can relate the most is Five of Swords. So I have a Libra moon and Libra moon, sorry. I have a Libra moon sign, and Libra hates conflict very much. And sometimes, to avoid conflict, they are willing to give up in a fight, even though they are right, even though they have the right to defend themselves, but they give up because they hate conflict. And the reason why I hate conflict is because I think slow. So when people debate me, I cannot answer to them quickly on the spot. I cannot defend myself. I will freeze. I will have a brain freeze, and that's why I hate conflict so much, because it will frustrate me and it will hurt me. And I have been in this situation, like the people here who have their swords being taken by this person unfairly, it seems. I have been in this situation many times. So when I get this card, I will usually I will freeze and ask what's going to happen again now, what now. So yeah, lastly, Seven of Swords. So this is related to my hate of conflict. So because sometimes I have too much worries in my mind, especially when I have to face challenge from external parties, I will run away. I will abandon my post. I will desert, because I just cannot take the stress anymore. So even though what what this shepherd is doing is something dishonorable, it's not something honorable, because he leaves his flock, his sheep, to be eaten by a wolf. That's because he is scared, and I can identify with that. I can identify with the feeling. It's not like I can afford to do this. I mean, as much as I am a coward, I am not someone who desert responsibilities, who ditch responsibilities, but I can relate to that feeling. So yeah, so these are my 4 cards that I can relate to most in a tarot deck. I know that there is no major arcana card. Maybe I just have not thought about it, but yeah, those are some of the cards that I can relate to most in a tarot deck. So yeah, those are my response to day 16, 17, and 18 of 31 days of tarot challenge. See you guys in day 19. Yes, okay, see ya.